Level 1. The iron collar snaps shut around your neck so sharply that you bite your tongue. Your mouth fills at once with the taste of blood and dust. They unload you with the other girls into the inner courtyard of the Emperor's house on the Palatine, and no one looks at your faces for longer than a second. Here they judge not people, but backs, hands, teeth, the way you walk. An overseer in a dark stola moves down the line, lifts your chin with 2 fingers, and orders you to walk to the column and back. You take 3 steps, your sandal slips on the wet stone, and everything inside your chest drops at once. If you fall now, they will send you not to the chambers, but down below, to the filthiest work. Nearby, one girl starts crying. Too loudly, she is struck across the mouth at once with a wooden rod, and the crying breaks off in a gasp. They shove a clay jug into your hands and order you to carry it to the steps without spilling a drop. The water is cold, the rim cuts into your palms, and all around you the air smells of oil, lime, sweat, and wine from the open triclinium. You walk, feeling sweat run down your back, and catch the quick glances of the older slave women. They already know which of the new ones will last a week and which will break by evening. When you finally set the jug down straight without a sound, the overseer does not sneer for the first time. Instead of punishment, she throws you a short command. Laundry. If you steal, they cut your hair. If you drop anything, you get beaten. And only then do you understand that the worst thing is no longer the sale. The worst thing is that this house already has plans for you. Level 2. The heat in the laundry is nothing like the sun. It clings upward from the vats, from the boiling water, from the wet walls, from the steam that settles on your face like a damp rag. All day you stand ankle-deep in soapy filth, scrubbing other people's tunics against ridged stone until your knuckles turn raw and red. By the 2nd hour, your wrist starts trembling. By the 4th, you can no longer feel your fingernails. No one asks where you came from here. They ask how many things you ruined. An older slave named Nysa, with a burned neck and a voice as dry as ash, saves you once without wasting a word. You are almost about to lay your mistress's white stola on the common table, the one marked by charcoal and sweat, when Nysa slaps your wrist hard. Then she jerks her chin toward a separate basket trimmed in purple. That one is for the inner chambers. Mix them up, and they'll skin you. She does not smile, but later she nudges a piece of stale bread toward you, while the overseer counts the laundry on a wax tablet. By evening, they send you upstairs for the first time. Not into the rooms, only to the doors. Deliver folded fabrics without raising your eyes. You see a polished floor, a bronze lamp with fish tails, an open doorway beyond which women are laughing, and you understand that everything in this house is divided by invisible lines. Some wash blood and oil. Others wear them on their skin. On the way back, a wet sheet slips from your hands and smacks against the steps. The sound feels deafening. The overseer grabs you by the back of the neck, pushes your face into the stone, and orders you to pick it up again without dirtying it. You do, in silence. And that night, when you lie down on a straw pallet beside Nysa, you understand for the first time that survival here is not strength. It is memory for rules, and the ability to swallow everything that wants to come out. Level 3. The first real mistake happens on the 3rd day, when they pull you out of the laundry before dawn. They give you a clean tunic, drag a bone comb through your hair, and lead you into a room that smells of saffron, warm wax, and expensive oil. The inner chambers turn out to be not luxury, but silence, the kind where even breathing feels dangerous. Here the footsteps are softer, the voices are lower, and the punishments, as Nysa whispered, hurt more. Your work sounds simple only in words. Stand by the clothing chest, hand over ribbons, fold embroidered fabrics, Do not mix up the order of things. Marcia, a young slave who has served here for a long time, moves her fingers quickly and confidently, while everything sticks in your hands. When they tell you to bring a thin gold chain from the third drawer, you reach for the wrong chest. Marcia hisses in your ear, but too late. The lid snaps, a flask of thick oil slips out, and breaks against the edge. The smell of rose spills across the floor, and shining drops run beneath your mistress's hem. No one shouts. That makes it worse. The overseer silently takes you by the elbow, leads you into the corridor, and strikes your palms with a thin strap. Not hard enough to draw blood. Just enough so that every time you grip an object after this, you remember the price of mistakes. Marcia watches you go without pity, as if she has already crossed you off. You return to the chests with your hands burning, holding back the tremor as you pass the fabrics. Later, when everyone leaves, you notice a small red wax seal stuck to Marcia's sandal. She hides it too quickly, and in that moment it hits you. In this house, it is not only the masters you should fear. You should fear the people standing right beside you, smiling as if nothing happened. Level 4. They do not send you back to the laundry. That is mercy and a trap at the same time. Now you work between two worlds. By day, you carry baskets of clean fabric. By night, you polish bronze clasps in the dressing room of the inner chambers. You are the lowest in rank, which means you hear more than you should. People do not look at those who carry shoes, jewelry boxes, and empty lamps. A few days later, a small ring with a dark stone goes missing. Not an imperial treasure. Just something belonging to one of the favored women. But in a house where everything is written down on tablets and everything is kept by list, that is enough for an entire group to be punished. The overseer lines you up and orders you to untie your belts, shake out your hems, and open your hands. Marcia stands on your right, too calm, too straight. Nisa, called in as the senior laundress, coughs into her fist and does not raise her eyes. When the turn reaches you, a board creaks under your foot near a low chest. You step back without thinking, and a narrow strip of cloth tied into a knot slips out of the gap. Inside is not the ring, but that same wax seal and a little bone tag from a jewelry drawer. The overseer grabs the bundle and looks not at you, but at Marcia. For the first time, Marcia goes pale. The room falls into a silence thick as the oil from the broken flask. You do not yet understand that you have just saved Nisa and all the others from collective punishment. You only feel your back go wet with sweat. They lead Marcia away without shouting, only with one sharp, choking breath. And that evening, Nisa sits beside you by the laundry wall and says more than she ever has before. Now they remember you. That can be worse than beatings. You touch your swollen fingers and realize that in this house, being unnoticed was your only protection. Today you lost it. Level 5. After the matter with the ring, they move you closer to the mistress. Not out of kindness, but because you have shown that you notice small things. Now you serve near the dressing room and in the bath chambers, where the air always smells of hot stone, wet wool, and myrrh. Everything here is built on procedure. Untie the belt, take the cloak, hand over the oil, remove the hairpins. Stay silent. The mistake is no longer dropping something. The mistake is looking in the wrong direction or hearing too much. One night, they order you to carry a sealed tablet to a small office beyond the garden. You walk through the narrow corridor between the lamps, trying not to spill the oil in the light, and hear whispers behind a half-open door. The voice of Felix, a freedman and palace accountant, and the voice of a man you know only by his heavy steps and the smell of expensive wine. They are arguing about lists, grain, money, about how many names can be removed if some of the slaves are sent to the country estate as sick. You freeze, feeling oil drip onto your fingers. Among the names they say is Nisa's. You still deliver the tablet where you were told, but when you walk back, your steps are no longer the same, like someone who has stepped onto thin ice by accident and heard it crack beneath her feet. Back in the laundry, Nisa is coughing harder now, laughing at her own cough as if she made peace with it in advance. You want to tell her what you heard, but in the corner sits another girl, mending a hem. The walls here listen almost as well as people do. For the first time, you feel not just fear of punishment. You feel a purpose. To keep near you the one person left who still remembers your name, not just the number on your tag. Level 6. You begin doing the thing you used to fear more than anything. Choosing. Not waiting for orders, but choosing. In the morning, when Felix checks the lists by the storeroom, you deliberately set a basket of clean bandages too close to the passage. He catches it with his foot, turns his irritation on you, and in that moment you manage to see the wax tablet under his arm. Nisa's name has already been scraped out and written again. Not laundry, but outer estate. You lower your eyes at once and start gathering the bandages so quickly it looks as if that is all you live for. That same day, you ask to help the old scribe slave in the dressing room count linen ribbons. It is lower work than handling jewelry, but it puts you close to the shelf where duplicate household tablets are kept. Your fingers shake as you move the wooden slips, as if you are only straightening the stack. You do not read well, but you know numbers, and the signs for places too. 1 minute is enough for you to understand it. Felix has been removing both people and goods for a long time, hiding the shortages behind false seals. That evening, Nisa cannot lift a full vat. Her legs buckle, water spills across the floor, and the overseer raises a stick. For the first time, you interfere out loud. You say it was your fault that you fastened the handle badly. The blow lands on you. Then another. Then they send you to scrub soot from the lamps deep into the night. But kneeling under the warm wall, your fingers black with soot, you already know there is no going back. Before, the system only pressed down on you. Now you have reached your own hand under its ribs and found the weak place. Level 7. The next step comes not as a reward, but as a redistribution. They notice your silent endurance and put you on night duty outside the mistress's bedchamber. That stands higher than the laundry and is more dangerous than any cellar. Here, you cannot cough, step with the wrong foot, or nod off by the lamp. Here, you see the faces of the favored women without paint and jewelry. You see them whisper with freed women. You see notes passed inside folded sleeves. You see entire days arranged around a single glance from the mistress. One of the senior attendants, dry and straight-backed Larissa, starts using you like a wordless hand. Bring the casket, carry the comb, hide the sealed tablet in the drawer. You do everything, memorizing the order. And one night, when the lamp is already smoking and behind the curtain people are arguing over the next day's reception, Larissa pushes a small bundle into your hand and orders you to take it to the mistress's office personally, showing it to no one. You walk the long corridor, hear your own sandals creak, feel dryness beneath your tongue. The mistress is alone in the office. You place the bundle on the table and manage to catch sight, beneath the unfolding cloth, of Felix's familiar seal and a list of names for sale. The mistress does not raise her eyes right away. First, she reads. Then she looks at you as if testing how much you have already understood. You stand motionless, holding your empty hands before you. She asks nothing extra, only orders you to report to Larissa in the morning. When you leave the office, you understand that you have just stopped being a simple object moved from room to room. Now you are part of someone's decision. That brings not relief, but a colder kind of fear. Level 8. The breaking point comes not in shouting, but in a windowless room where they force you to remain on your knees for nearly an hour. Felix has not yet been removed. The house still needs him too much, and so he tries first to remove those who might drag him down. In the morning, they truly seize Nisa by the laundry, bind her hands with rope, and drag her into the courtyard for transfer. You rush after them without thinking of rank or rods, or the fact that you are wearing only a thin night tunic and have bare feet. The stone burns your soles in the sun. You clutch at Larissa's sleeve, speak too fast, stumbling, show her the duplicate tablet you hid beneath your mattress in the night, and for the first time say Felix's name out loud as the name of a thief. At once, everything around you goes quiet. Not because they believe you, because you have broken the main law of the house. A low slave does not accuse a freedman in front of witnesses. They do not beat you right away. First, they take you away, put you in a dark room beside the storeroom. Your hands are shaking, your stomach is twisted, and your lips taste like metal. Outside the door, sandals pound, voices argue, someone runs with tablets. You sit with your forehead against your knees, and for the first time you truly think it is over. Not your service, you yourself. When the door finally opens, Larissa is standing there. Her face is stone. She says only, "Nisa stays." Felix was removed from the house. From this day you report to me, and you understand the price. You saved one person, but forever became the one who survived not by silence, but by informing. There is no road back now. Level 9. Work under Larissa is no easier. It is simply cleaner on the outside and dirtier on the inside. Now you no longer carry the wet stink of the laundry. You wear a neat, light tunic, your hair is gathered smoothly, and around your neck, instead of rough iron, there is a thin metal band marking you as a house slave of the mistress. You carry keys to small drawers, keep track of the bath schedule, count bottles of oil, check that everything in the chests lies in proper order. You no longer haul heavy vats, but now one mistaken seal can collapse somebody else's life. The people around you change. Those who once never noticed you now greet you with a slight dip of the head. Those who once slept beside you on straw pallets fall silent when you pass. Nisa remains in the laundry, but no longer works at the hottest vats. Sometimes you pass her an extra piece of bread or a clean bandage for the cough, and it does not make things easier. Between you now stands not only the house, but that morning in the courtyard. One day, a young slave drops a casket of needles and begins, out of habit, to apologize before the blow even comes. You look at her shaking hands and suddenly hear Larissa's dryness in your own voice. Pick it up, quickly, and wipe the blood before anyone sees. The girl nods and sniffs back tears. You turn away, because you understand something worse than beatings. The system does not merely keep you inside it. It has already taught you how to continue it. And this new position is not freedom. It is only a more expensive form of leash. Level 10. They give you freedom not with fanfare, and not on a day of great mercy. It happens years later, when the mistress changes part of the household staff and grants a few trusted attendants their papers for long service. They hand you a small wax tablet with your name, your new status, and permission to live outside the house while remaining on call. Larissa reads the text aloud dryly, as if reciting a list of oils. Nisa stands off to the side, almost free of her cough now, hiding a smile in the fold of her cloth. You walk out through the Palatine gate with a bundle of clothes, 2 copper coins, and a strange lightness in your hands. There is no metal around your neck anymore, but your fingers still rise by themselves to adjust what is no longer there. Down below, in the city, the shops are loud, and the air smells of bread, vinegar, manure, and fried fish. People shove, argue, bargain, and no one cares that for you, every step taken without permission is enough to make your head spin. You rent a tiny room from a widow near a stairway, set a jug on the floor, sit down, and stare at the door for a long time, unable to understand whether you are allowed to close it from the inside simply because you want to. In the night, you wake from the silence and do not at first understand that no one is calling you to the lamp, to the chest, to the mistress, to the lists. Then you hear coughing from the next room, a cart creaking beneath the window, a dog barking, and you understand one simple, tired thing. You did not become the queen of your own life. You only bought back from it the right to belong to yourself, at least in part. And even that feels here like something almost impossible.